Hello and welcome to the August 2018 Spotlight webinar with SR, Clark, and myself. A note for our listeners, we will be taking questions through the questions pane today on the right-hand side of your screen. Please submit any questions you have during the webinar, and at the end of the call, we'll read them aloud and get you the answers. With that, I'll hand you to SR.
Thanks, Chrissy, and thanks to everyone joining the presentation. Today we'll be discussing multiple products related to the SysMac platform. Some of you already were exposed to some of the material at Omron Sales Conference back in May, and hopefully you can get a quick refresher through this webinar. To start off, I'll discuss about the NX1 automation controller that we launched in July of 2018. Followed by that, I would like to show you where you can find some of the collateral and some newer items such as the SysMac Studio online demo available for you to promote the SysMac platform. We'll continue the conversation with Clark on NX1 starter kits and IPC. So let's get started. When you research some of the recent trends in manufacturing, I was able to place the trends in 4 different buckets. These trends have been around but more prevalent to larger organizations, but recently these requirements are filtering down to organizations of smaller scale as well. For example, the first one, mastering data. 45% of organizations say that gaining access to data from different areas of the business is driving their need for analytics, and I'm sure you're coming across several customers looking for data collection and analysis in your visits. Second one is flexible manufacturing. This is not a new topic, but becoming more prevalent. Manufacturers need to be fast to market, which means they have to incorporate flexibility, modularity, etc. in their lines and machines. And with competition from emerging markets, all sized firms are starting to adapt to this trend. Thirdly, IT/OT convergence. This is becoming more critical for top decision makers as they try to get more efficiency out of their plant floors. Shop floor management and top floor management are both trying to understand and implement digital transformation. I can bet that majority of your top customers are either in the process or thinking about implementing some form of digital transformation. And lastly is smart manufacturing. I put this in its own bucket because this includes utilizing robotics, artificial intelligence, predictive maintenance algorithms, and security on the plant floor. So Omron positioned its controller offering starting in 2011 to attack some of these trends from the get-go. Let's look at the timeline. So Omron started setting the base for IT/OT connectivity by introducing the NJ series controllers with Open Ethernet IP and EtherCAT protocols. Next, we introduced the NJ5 SQL and SexGem CPUs to target direct connection to databases. But for our market, it was in 2015 and 2016 that we introduced the lower segment of the Mac that started getting more traction with our customers, especially with the NX1P, which I consider a game changer. Lastly, we introduced the NJ5 with OPC UA, which is used for securely transferring data over an unsecured network, and the NX7 with SQL. But when you look at this timeline, you also find that the technologies are fragmented in different controllers at different price points. With the NX1, Omron has introduced the next standard in automation control that enables information transfer, safety, quality control, and machine control in an affordable package. This means that you are able to broaden your customer base, especially the ones that saw cost as a barrier to implement emerging technologies. From a safety standpoint, this will be the world's first controller that will support both SIP safety and FSOE or fail-safe over EtherCAT. For those unfamiliar with SIP safety, this is the primary protocol used by Rockwell for safety networks. In August, we launched the NX-SL5 series safety controllers, and there'll be a detailed webinar on the safety CPU later. But the key point here is that the NX1 series alongside the NX-SL5 safety CPU integrates control and safety features not available in the market so far. With the NX1 and NX-SL5, SIP safety and EtherCAT safety can be realized together on the same control system, giving robotic and factory automation users the choice to integrate with varied safety networks. Safety control systems can be built within and between machines, and control and safety can be managed as a module, simplifying the creation of flexible production lines. From a customer standpoint, I want to touch on some of the key benefits of the NX1. Firstly, overall cost reduction. The NX1 doesn't require a separate power supply. It can add safety directly to the side of the unit on the local bus without requiring to strip out the whole NX1 CPU or add a remote coupler. It has significant expansion capability on the local bus, up to 32 NX slices and a total of 400 slices when expanded with the NX coupler. It also has 12 axes of motion, 8 of them coordinated, all in 1 millisecond cycle time. These features provide customers with the capability to have a highly flexible system that can be upgraded or scaled down depending on the project at an extremely affordable cost. Secondly, IIoT-ready PLC for information transfer. The NX1 comes with 3 Ethernet ports, 2 for Ethernet IP and 1 for EtherCAT. It has OPC-UA server built in standard for secure information transfer and SQL client available as an option. I do want to clarify the term IIoT here since there has been some confusion over it. NX1 and controllers like NJSQL/OPC-UA help enable IIoT or Industrial Internet of Things applications by providing an easy path for host IT systems to connect to OT systems. In our case, having OPC-UA and SQL built in enables IT systems to leverage data directly at the plant level and send it to the enterprise without using any middleware PC. It's not a device that does analytics or directly connects to the cloud. Third benefit that I want to focus on is quality control. I mentioned earlier that the NX1 helps in enabling quality control. This is done with the newly launched NX high-speed analog input module that can help with inline quality inspection systems. Clark will be touching on the NX high-speed analog input module later in the presentation, but it's important to remember that coupled with NX high-speed analog input module and NX1, customers can also use this combination for process data collection and send up to the enterprise without using a middleware such as Kepware, etc. Let's look at the NX1 positioning in the Omron portfolio. In the Sysmac controller lineup, due to its numerous features, NX1 is positioned between the NJ1 and NJ3 controller. Obviously, for those who have looked at the current price point, NX1 is definitely very aggressively priced and is much lower in cost when you look at a comparable NJ1 solution. When comparing or educating customers who have the CJ line of PLCs, you want to target the customers who are in the CJ2M CPU 3 series and above, like the CJ2H series, etc. Listed here is an eye chart, but that'll come in handy when discussing comparative specifications with your customers in the NJ series. Couple of points to note here. We have a 32 MB non-retained memory capacity that is 8 times that of an NJ. This is crucial for the data transfer applications when customers start using the OPC-UA SQL capabilities of NX1. This will ensure that we are not bogging down the CPU in any fashion and maintaining the 1 millisecond cycle time for all the motion and process control. Also, similar to the NX1P, even the base model has 4 axes of point-to-point or position control built in. I want to give you kind of a summary slide of the different connections that the NX1 has. So here's a one-slide connection map of the NX1 to show all its capabilities. On the local bus, directly connected to the side of the NX1, you can have NX-IO slices, safety CPU including the NX-SL3 series, and the new NX-SL5 series, and NX-IO Link Master as well. Using the EtherCAT port, you can connect to other EtherCAT safety devices, including from third-party manufacturers who comply with the Open EtherCAT protocol. Let's move on to the 2 Ethernet ports. The Ethernet ports give you a wide possibility of connection to the enterprise network, HMI, other PLCs, middleware, etc., and utilize the OPC or SQL for data transfer. The unique point here to understand is that the EIP ports are not being used for line or machine control like other competitors and is kept separate. And lastly, similar to the NX1P, you can connect to Omron Adept fixed robots using ePLC and Sysmac library to control the robots. So overall, significant capabilities on the NX1. Now let's look at a couple of application examples that we discussed back at the sales conference. First one is for a large engine manufacturer who wants to collect process data. Their concerns are that they can't change from the PLC from Rockwell, but are interested in collecting process data using IO-Link sensors. They also are currently using middleware to send data to the enterprise, and that's adding additional cost. So we propose to the customer to use NX1 as a data concentrator with built-in OPC or SQL connection. They can attach the NX IO-Link master on the local bus for a compact form factor and connect all their IO-Link sensors to this setup. Additionally, they only need to use the PLC software Sysmac Studio without using additional middleware for sending data to the enterprise. This is a win-win situation where the customer is getting a compact solution using the NX1 for enabling an IIoT type application. We are currently working on this project, and if successful, this could be a large account with repeat business for us. The second example is for an OEM who makes automated assemblies and uses Rockwell for PLC platform. Their concerns are that the current machine building cost is very high, but they need the features of the compact logic controller to satisfy their current needs. So with the NX1, the customer gets to have dual Ethernet IP ports similar to the compact logic controller for separate networks, but a separate EtherCAT port for all their machine automation network. They are not a big motion user, but depending on their need, even the base model of NX1 has 4 axes for point-to-point motion. OPC-UA is built in for secure information transfer and helps eliminate any middleware that they are currently paying KIPware for. Software is only a one-time license fees from Omron as opposed to a subscription model with Rockwell. So when we proposed our solution just from a pure cost perspective, we're 50% lower than Rockwell. In this scenario, it's hard for OEMs like these and machine builders to ignore the value we bring with the NX1. So you want to keep this in mind when approaching customers who are using Rockwell as the current solution. Even though it's been only a month since we launched the NX1, I want to touch upon a couple of recent successes that are happening with the NX1 that'll give you additional ideas on targeting customers. The first one is in the oil and gas industry, where a major supplier to oil companies has used the NX1 and NX SL5 series SIP safety controller to interface with FANUC robots in a cell that makes drilling equipment. They're using the NX1 with OPC-UA and SQL, and their comments on the setup with FANUC is described here. As you can see from the comments, this customer is seeing significant reduction in hardware and wiring coupled with a powerful interface to their robotic cell. So as you start learning more about the NX1 and the new safety CPU, keep robotic applications in mind. The second success is a recent one in August. This customer is the largest manufacturer for window wire screens. They currently use our NJ1 platform, and we're considering ordering additional 10 NJ1 systems. Incidentally, they don't use our NA HMI and use the Automation Direct Seymour Series HMI due to the total solution cost. When we introduced the NX1, they really liked the features but also the price point that has made them decide to start using the NA HMI. So all the next set of systems will be with the NX1 and NA HMI with a potential of 70 systems in the future. Interestingly, another engineer who is working with a Rockwell PLC on a different project at this site was introduced to the NX1 and found several features of the NX1 appealing and is considering switching over as well. We touched upon the different type of applications, and this is a slide that reiterates the type of customers that can be migrated to NX1. I believe that with the features and price point, NX1 will be very appealing to OEMs and machine builders who were previously taking the NJ NX series out of consideration. For customers who are already using the CJ platform, it's important to educate them about the product, but assure them that CJ series is not going anywhere anytime soon. But sooner or later, they'll have to adapt to the emerging technology trends and need to be aware of the NX1 availability so that when it's time to convert, they're already switching to the NX1. Here's a competitive comparison against key players. From a product line standpoint, the NX1 competes with the Compact Logic controller and S7-1513 series from Siemens. The key points that I want to highlight for today's webinar are the enterprise connectivity and the safety integration. With respect to direct enterprise connectivity, NX1 shines in that we don't require any special licensing or middleware to connect to an OPC-UA client or SQL databases. This eliminates added middleware costs for customers, especially using Rockwell or Siemens. Secondly, from a safety integration standpoint, NX1, or for that matter, all NJNX controllers, offer flexibility to a customer in terms of add-on safety. If you had an OEM who wants to add safety at a later point to a machine, they have to rip out the existing CPU, whether it's Rockwell or Siemens. In our case, we provide an extremely modular system that lets the customer add safety to the side of the CPU or in remote stations using the coupler. Additionally, with both SIP safety and EtherCAT available on NX1, it can be used in varied safety networks and provide an easy interface to robots that employ SIP safety protocol. I just want to clarify my previous statement. When I say it's available on the NX1, you do have to use a separate safety CPU to accomplish the safety networks. Here's a list of part numbers for your reference. The key thing to note here is that the OPC-UA option is available for every model and SQL is available in 4 models. We do have a demo set up in the system. As you can see, we have the part number on the screen for the NX1, which is similar to the NJ demos that you can order if interested. Next, I'm going to do a walkthrough on a couple of items using a pre-recorded video. First, we'll go through where to find NX1 documents, and then I'm going to talk about Sysmax Studio Online Demo, which I'm pretty excited to introduce to you. And if you miss some of the steps as I'm walking through this pre-recorded video, this should be available later for your review, so don't worry too much about it. So for accessing the NX1 documents, go to industrial.omron.us and log into the My Dashboard site. Once logged in, go to the My Dashboard tab and click on Product Releases. Here you'll find all the new products that have been launched. As you can see, we have a number of new products that have been launched recently. You want to go and find NX1 in this list and go to that page. This page has all the necessary documents you will need, including detailed internal presentations, customer presentations, user manuals, brochure, data sheets, etc. That's what I'm about to highlight here. Additionally, we also have a sales guide that'll be useful to review just before a customer visit or for a quick review instead of going through detailed slide decks. So clicking on the NX1 sales guide. So as you can see, it talks about briefly about target customer, key customer benefits, some pointers about competition, leading questions, frequently asked questions, etc. Would be pretty useful if you printed and kept it in your car before going to a visit. So you can also access this information through the NX1 standard product page that customers access. When you log in through your dashboard account, you get access to additional documents in the download section, such as the sales guide and internal presentation that the customer doesn't get. They get the external presentation, user manual, data sheet, etc. Next, I want to move to a new tool that is available at your disposal. Have you ever had trouble getting your customers to try out Sysmax Studio? My bet is that you have, and I want to reduce that bottleneck by making it easier for your customers to not raise concerns about not having time to install or not having time to test it out, etc. On the Omron site, by going to Products, Software, Sysmax Studio product page, you or any customer can now access Sysmax Studio via any web browser. So let's get to the Sysmax Studio product page. As shown here, the customer has to click on the Launch Real-Time Online Demo banner and it'll take them to a page to fill out the information that will give them access. After filling the email, they will receive a link to launch the Sysmax Studio Online Demo page as shown on this page here. They click on that Access Online Demo link, and once you get to that page, customer just has to click on the embedded player that'll show up shortly to launch Sysmax Studio. There is no requirement for any type of installation or DVD or license, etc. Since the Studio software is running on a virtual machine on a cloud server, it's important to understand that it'll take 5 to 10 minutes for the software to launch and stabilize for the customer to start playing with it effectively, and it's not going to be as fast as running on a local PC. I have edited the video here to make it look like it's moving fast with respect to the startup time, but it did take me about 5 to 10 minutes before I could get it started. But the advantage is that they don't have to worry about IP blocking installs or admin rights, etc., to just play around the package. Each session is 30 minutes long, and you can do everything. As you can see, you can upload a file that you send to a customer to say which is specific to their application that they want to check out. They can do that as well. And if they want to access the session again at a later time, they basically go to their email again and access the link again. I would highly recommend promoting this tool with your customers, since they can, as I mentioned earlier, upload project files that you send to them, run simulations, write code, or just check out all the features of Studio. We'll also be promoting this tool further through our digital marketing team in the near future. By the way, I'm not aware of any other competitor having this capability to evaluate software over the web in the Americas, and I would love to have your feedback once you have had a chance to test it out. I hope you found the Sysmax Studio online demo exciting. With respect to the NX1 promotion, it is an ongoing effort, and we are currently setting up lead generation campaigns through our digital marketing team that includes special landing pages, email blasts, and social media campaigns. We also did a press release on NX1, and it has been picked up voluntarily by over 10 different tech publications. So lots of good stuff is going on, but we still need your help in promoting the NX1, so I request you to review the presentations in detail that are available on the NX1 product page. Look out for NX1 starter kits that Clark is going to talk about in a minute, and start promoting them. And lastly, utilize the powerful method of exposing Sysmax Studio to customers without them having to install anything. Sysmax Studio is key to customers buying into the Sysmax platform, and this tool eliminates an additional bottleneck for them to try it out. That's all I have for you today, and I'll hand it over to Clark now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, SR. Hello, everyone. My name is Clark Kromenacher. I'm a product manager here at Omron. I'd like to start talking about our new high-speed analog input module. So we have added this new high-speed analog input module to our NX portfolio. This module has the highest sampling rate of any analog input that we offer, and higher than most of our competitors. Conventional lower speed analog modules can miss data on complicated analog signals. These sampling issues have limited the usefulness of PLCs in some applications where the data of interest occurs at a faster rate than the analog sampling rate. Applications include rotating part inspection, where vibration, sound, torque, and acceleration need to be measured, and for in-process spot weld inspections, where eddy currents, resistance of the weld need to be measured at a very high speed. These applications are currently being solved using analog systems such as those sold from National Instruments. This is an opportunity to move these customers to a more economical and reliable PLC-based system. The high-speed analog module is a 24 millimeter wide module designed to work on a local bus of an NX controller. What makes the Omron solution unique is the isolation between the 4 input channels, eliminating crosstalk errors. This isolation also allows us to operate at 5 microsecond response on all 4 inputs simultaneously, and this is something our competitors cannot do. Here we can see the competition for the Omron NX HAD module. We can differentiate Omron completely with our external trigger input and input channel insulation, and we excel in areas of input range, resolution, and sampling time. But keep in mind, we can only do 5 microsecond sampling on the local NX bus. It'll drop to 20 microseconds using the EtherCAT coupler. And also we need to use the EtherCAT coupler with this device if we are going to do remote. Currently does not work with the Ethernet IP coupler. Okay, that's enough on the NX module. I'd like to start talking about something new that we have coming out. So we're starting to work on some new starter kits. So we're going to work on the NX102 starter kits. We're going to be coming out with these in September. Selecting the Sysmax solution couldn't be easier with buying individual components. We're introducing the Sysmax NX102 starter kits, and with them you'll get everything you need to begin a project where the core automation components are designed to work together, minimizing integration time and setting a control foundation for future expansion and increased performance. These starter kits will come with a single licensed Sysmax Studio Lite configuration package, a selection of NX102 controllers paired with the NA series HMI, power supply, and communication cables. Starter kits make it easy for sales and for our customers to specify Sysmax solution. There's no need to be an expert in selecting what products will work with what, or to be a BOM expert on the Sysmax parts. The only other decision you'll need to make is what high-performance, cost-effective NX-IO modules you will need to complete the solution. Above all, these will be priced very well. We're expecting 32 total kit combinations will be available once these are all set up. And also, we don't want you to forget that we have the standard starter kits available for the NJ1, 3, and 5, and with the SQL options. So we've had these available for a couple years, and they come with either a 9-inch, 12-inch, or 15-inch HMI, a power supply, and an EtherCAT coupler. It's a great tool for converting customers to the Sysmax solution. Okay, now I'd like to move on to a new product we just launched in July. It's our 7th generation i5 Celeron for the new compact IPC. Some of you may already know that we have IPC in a larger form factor, and we've come out with a smaller, lighter, lower cost version of that product, and I'd like to talk about that with you now. So why IPC? Well, as data becomes more prevalent in manufacturing, the only real practical way to manage it is with a PC. So it's an important solution, part of an automation solution. The ARC Advisory Group provides market research and services to the industrial automation community and identifies several trends in this slide that are driving customers to use the industrial PCs in their manufacturing facilities. So the rapid growth of data generated by manufacturing processes, how is that going to be managed and how is that going to be analyzed? Well, we need a computer to do that. ARC also says the industrial PC market will mirror the trends in the global value chain by enabling technologies and ways of production using things like enterprise resource planning, manufacturing enterprise software to collect data for machine-to-machine communication and analytics. So Omron has this IPC. We also have a unit that has an embedded NJ controller that actually ARC also sees a trend to more IPC-based control architectures in the future. So we're following those trends with the products we're launching. To implement the vision of industrial Internet of Things, computing power is necessary in the data flow to sort and analyze the data collected on the factory floor. Industry requirements are quickly evolving that focus on data collection as a way to ensure public safety and security and to limit liability in the event of manufacturing errors or raw material defects. Also, anti-counterfeiting techniques commonly involve collecting unique lot information generated at the point of production and publishing that information to an end user available location so that authenticity can be confirmed. So imagine the savings and increased safety that can be realized if only specific parts identified in a recall can be removed from the supply chain, causing minimum disruption. So there's a lot of standards that are being developed for food, pharmaceutical in particular, as well as automotive, where this data has to be collected and saved. And again, an IPC is really the way to do this type of activity. So what is the Omron IPC? The Omron IPC is part of Omron's Sysmax solution of products that are designed to work together. There are versions of the IPC that have a virtual NJ controller included. The Sysmax solution is tied together with Sysmax Studio, so the software package is the one configuration tool for control, safety, vision, and sensing and I/O here at Omron. Taking a look at how the product is positioned in our portfolio, we can see that on the left side of the screen we have the new IPC. So as mentioned, the new IPC is smaller, lighter, and about 30% less expensive than the conventional Omron IPC. The new compact IPC also comes with the latest Generation 7 Intel CPUs. There are box and panel PC versions available. They also come standard with Windows 10 Enterprise IoT version of operating system. Windows 10 Enterprise is one of the more advanced and feature-rich versions of Windows. It is a long-term service branch operating system, meaning that Windows has committed to supporting it for at least 10 years after release. In addition, this version of Windows allows the user to turn off all feature upgrades to the system. When this is enabled, only security updates from Microsoft will be allowed. This allows the user to basically have the same operating system features for years after the installation. There are also versions of all of our IPCs, the compact and the standard size IPCs, without an operating system and a hard drive. So that allows our customers to use an operating system they would rather use. Perhaps they'd want to use Linux, for example, and we can do that with our industrial PC. Taking a look at the hardware configurations, at the top of the screen we see the full-size IPC we sell today, and the biggest difference is that it has a PCI Express slot in it. The compact IPC on the bottom part of the slide does not have a PCI Express slot. So that's what we removed to make the unit smaller. Both the conventional and new compact versions come in box versions where a remote monitor would be used, and a panel PC version where either a 12-inch or 15-inch monitor is attached to the box and installed in a panel like an HMI would be installed. Taking a look at some of the features on the IPC, we're going to just concentrate on what's new here. So we can see that in red we've got the Core 7th generation controllers, which put us ahead of the pack for a lot of the competition out there. Windows 10 IoT Enterprise version, we talked about that. We now have 16 gigabytes of RAM available, and this particular model, a compact model, uses CFast drives. So these are solid-state drives that go into the unit. They're very small, very compact, and very rugged for use in industrial environments. And also, the device, the compact unit, is 2 inches thinner than our conventional IPC is. Let's not forget the monitor. So the monitor we sell is a 12 and 15 inch or 15-inch unit. We are working at a 19-inch to be available early next year. One of the main features of the display touchscreen is projected capacitive touchscreen. This means the sensing surface is actually above the glass screen and not directly on it. This is the feature that allows the touchscreen to be activated even when wearing gloves. So it's a very industrialized monitor for use in factories. Taking a look at some of the competition, who are our competitors? The IPC market is a crowded one. Our newer compact IPC expands our product offering and performance with newer Generation 7 Intel CPUs and Windows 10 Enterprise. Passmark is a generally accepted performance benchmarking software tool for x86-based PC architectures. PC vendors and customers alike use this tool to ensure they are getting the highest performance for their PC dollars. Omron IPC beats on this benchmark with competitive units tested so far. We can see from the chart here down toward the bottom the Passmark score for the Omron IPC versus our competitors. One of our customers rated the Omron IPC as the best performer in their benchmark testing over 5 other competitors, so it's a very powerful unit. Okay, let's take a look at some IPC successes. So we've got a lot of people working hard out there, pulling in a few IPC orders. Some recent successes with the IPC include a semiconductor manufacturer who will be shipping machines to Asia. To reduce the need for human travel, a remote monitoring and maintenance system is being implemented using our IPC. We also have a lot of automotive customers. We have a unique application here where one of our customers is modifying an engine assembly process where the objective is to control machine operation and collect a lot more data for big data analysis. They believe they can drive higher quality by evaluating and responding to data trends. This is actually using the NJ embedded machine control in the product as well. And we also have a pharmaceutical company going to implement 21 CFR Part 11, which is a data warehousing plan to keep manufacturing data for a certain period of time due to regulation to make sure that they have great quality control with their products. So how do I select an IPC? Well, one of the ways is to go onto our website and get a data sheet. So we have data sheets on our website, and we can look at the data sheet, and based on the features we want, we can create a part number for the IPC. Now, I need to mention that not every part combination that you can build from this is available. So we don't have every single part combination available. But if you have a good opportunity out there where a unique combination is needed, don't let that stop you. Please get a hold of your Omron representative. If you do have a good opportunity, we can build that unit for you or your customers. So one way, again, is the data sheets to configure a unit. We have 15-day lead time on this product. The other way is to go to Onset. So I hope all of you are using Onset. It's our BOM configuration tool. So the Omron IPCs are there as well. And here we can pick out different features that we need for our customer, and we actually will get a part number generated for us. Collateral that's available. So we have full spectrum of collateral on our website. We have the user manuals, we have brochures, data sheets for all of our IPCs, the panel and box versions. So please take a look at the website and some of the collateral that's available there. And we also have a unique promotion right now where we're actually, we can actually work with you and your customer and create a custom PDF for the customer. So we can create a document that'll implement their logo on the pictures of the IPC that are in the PDF document. So by working with your representative or emailing me perhaps, we can build this PDF, and down there on the right-hand side, you can see the red circle. Whatever your customer's logo is, we can create a PDF for them. You can hand out, leave behind, that has gives them the concept of what their product would look like if we put a custom logo on it for them. And we do this for actually very low cost for the customer. So keep that in mind. Get a hold of me if you want to do it. I'm here at Omron, and hopefully we can work together on some of this. Also, call to action. Well, start recognizing IPC applications in your current accounts. Data-intensive processes where a customer wants to manipulate data. Where's your SQL server if you're using an NGA SQL client? It could be in an IPC. If you have a customer that's using a discontinued Omron NSA IPC, they could be someone that could use this new product. And where have you sold Indusoft? So we've been selling Indusoft for a while, and that's got to run on some type of computer. It might as well be the Omron IPC. And what are your customers running Sysmax Studio CX1 and middleware on? They can run any software on this IPC that they can run a conventional Windows type machine. All right, everyone, thank you very much, and thank you for attending.
Thanks, Clark. I'll jump right into the IMTS preview because I don't have too much time left. If you haven't heard yet, Omron is exhibiting at IMTS 2018. This is located at the McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois, and it goes for 6 days from Monday, September 10th to Saturday, September 15th. Omron is in booth 134845 in the East Building, Level 3. Hours vary depending on the hall that you're in, so if you see below, we're in the East Building, Level 3, and our show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Here's a closer look on where our booth space will be. Let's take a look at some quick facts about IMTS and why it's important for Omron to exhibit. IMTS is held at the McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois every even year. Like I mentioned before, it's a 6-day show starting September 10th and ending September 15th. More than 115,000 industrial decision makers attend IMTS. The show attracts buyers and sellers from 117 countries. This is the America's largest manufacturing show. And in 2016, 86% of attendees surveyed were successful in finding specific products or solving manufacturing problems. Now let's move right along to our theme, demos, and our booth layout. Our top tier theme for the show is your trusted partner in automation, and we're also focusing on flexible manufacturing, factory of the future, and traceability. And of course, we're incorporating our 3 I's: integrated, intelligent, and interactive. The Automation Center engineers have been working tirelessly to complete these demos in time for the show, and they're incorporating our themes and ideas. The new IMTS demo displays a total integrated, intelligent, and interactive machine solution. The demo includes 3 independent cells, which includes a CNC machine, a laser marker system, and a machine-tending articulated robot that services both the CNC and laser marker. We will, of course, also have a mobile LD in the booth interacting with customers. We did not forget our family at OCR, and we'll be displaying a fish tank demo that shows the Hawk MV4000 and the Microhawk ID45. We also have a safety demo that will show new safety light curtains, safety mats, safety laser scanners, and safety controllers. We're also excited to display some new media. We'll be showing a new video on traceability and flexible manufacturing. Here's a bird's eye view of our booth. We have a corner booth, but we share the left side wall and the back wall with neighboring companies. You can see we put the IMTS and flexible manufacturing demo right in the center. Let's look at a front view of the booth. You'll see we have a lot of opportunities for media. As I mentioned before, we'll be debuting a new traceability and flexible manufacturing video, but we'll also have a new SIP safety video, and on the 4-screen display you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, we'll have a new Omron corporate overview video. Taking a look from the right side of the booth, you'll see a man standing in the center. Behind where this man is standing is a hidden meeting room that seats up to 8 people. We're really excited about this space because we can invite customers for a more private meeting setting, and the room's equipped with a monitor and AV hookup. Please contact me. My contact information is on this slide with any questions regarding appointments or to make appointments. Now let's take a look at our PR activities. If you haven't met Maggie Liu yet, she is our marketing specialist who works on our press releases and has already invited multiple media contacts to our booth. You can find the link for the press release on omron247.com. Maggie is working closely with the digital team and myself to execute successful campaigns with the show. We have an e-blast to share with you all today after the call. Please send it to your customers. The e-blast goes into greater detail about the technology in our booth and how Omron is bringing solutions to IMTS. Don't forget the power of social media. We'll have a digital marketing representative on site at the show, posting live to our Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Encourage your customers to like and follow us. We'll be posting about IMTS daily. Now, let's review a few quick points to wrap up the IMTS preview. So 2 of the most common questions I get asked in regards to IMTS is 1, how do I register? And 2, does Omron have any complimentary passes left? In regards to question 1, you would go to the IMTS website to register for a pass to attend the show. In regards to question 2, nope, I'm so sorry, we don't have any complimentary passes yet. But the good news is, show management tries to keep the show affordable, and you could buy an individual pass for $65, or if you find a group of 5 people or more, it's $45. Another common question we're getting is there any special events at the Automation Center? And the answer to that is no too. We don't have any special events going on at the Hoffman Estates Automation Center the week of IMTS. If you have a customer who wants to visit, please go through the normal process of requesting a visit, but we encourage you to schedule an appointment at the booth to meet with our technology experts and see our demonstrations. I also get asked a lot about parking on site at McCormick Place. There's multiple parking garages, and the typical cost is $23 per day. However, it sometimes sells out, and if you're in the downtown area, I would suggest using ride sharing like Uber or Lyft or a taxi to get to the show. We also get asked a lot about hotels. We encourage you to book directly through your company's normal channel, or you can visit the IMTS website for hotel suggestions. Now the real question is, what do we need from you? You can help Omron be successful at IMTS by inviting your customers with our IMTS 2018 e-blast. You could also follow our social media channels and encourage your customers to do the same. And finally, and most importantly, schedule customer appointments in our booth. We'll have technology experts there every day, and we look forward to touring any customers you may have. Thank you so much for attending the webinar today and going through the IMTS preview with me. And a big thanks to SR and Clark as well for their presentations. We're now going to open up the floor for questions.